Hey, Jeff Mays here. I was thinking about something the other day that a person asked me a question about. And the question was, how have you grown your business with networking? And I think it's a question that deserves a good answer because it's probably not what you think. When I go networking, I go out to different events and I meet people and I talk to them and I maybe give them my card, maybe I get their card, and then business happens. No, that's not really the way it works. So, how it does work, at least in my world, and how I've been successful in generating leads through networking, is to meet those people, and then I get their business card, and then I give them a call and sit down for coffee. Now, today in our world, whether it's in person or over the internet, maybe we use Zoom for it, we still get to meet people. We get to talk one on one and get to know each other. The purpose of networking, the purpose of doing business like this is that you get to know, like, and trust one another. And once you get there, then you can refer to each other. So I want to give you a simple way to get to know people and find a way to give them some business so that they'll reciprocate. Because I think it's just a common sense law. It really is. It's the law of giving and receiving, right? It's a law of cause and effect. If I give you a business lead or somebody that you can use in your business, you're much more likely to give me somebody that I can use or a lead from my business. Think about it. I think it works. So let's say that I give you a call. I've met you at a big meeting, a Chamber of Commerce meeting. Might be a couple hundred people there, and you're one of the 5 or 6 people whose card I received, and I put it in my pocket. And I call you up, and what do I say? I want you to meet with you so that I can sell you, in my case, insurance. No, that's not what I say. What I say is really important because I want to get the time with you in order to learn more about you. So I got to flip my mindset. I got to flip my mindset from selling to giving. It's really important. I want to find a way to give the person I'm talking to something that they need for their business or for their life. So, how do I ask the question? I say, hi, I'd like to sit down for 15, 20 minutes and learn more about your business. Would you have time to do that? I've never had anybody turn me down. Well, I think I had one person that turned me down, and they were just so busy they didn't have time. And that's okay. Thank you. I'll give you a call later, or thank you very much. But if they say, yes, I'd like to do that. Well, I'd like to meet you at, let's use Starbucks, this coffee shop, and we'll sit down for 20 minutes between 9:10 and 9:30, and I want to get to know more about you. Is that okay with you? Okay, they say yes. We agree to meet at 9:10 the next morning. We meet. The person automatically is going to go into a sales pitch. I can almost guarantee it. Anybody that you meet through networking is going to want to try to sell you something just like that. That's not what we want to do. So you have to take a little bit of control. And if they start into a sales pitch or they start into a sales presentation, you just say, hey, I really want to learn about you so that I can refer to you. If that doesn't get them, you may have to say, and usually third or fourth time you try that, and they still keep on going, you may have to say, hey, I'm not interested in your product, but I have 700 customers who might be. But if I don't learn about you, I won't know how to refer you. So could I learn how to refer to you right now? And that will stop them in their tracks, I guarantee it. So if you run into that problem, take care of it. And then you get down to, and I have this nice sheet. I'll send you this if you'd like to have it. This is just a way that I can go through it very quickly. I want to have these meetings in 20 minutes because I want to set up 3 or 4 of them in 2 or 3 hours in a coffee shop so I don't waste my time driving all over town. And by doing that, I'm able to use my time wisely. I can find out who these people are, and then I can get to know them, right? So very quickly, I'm going to write down the time and the place because I'm going to send them an email afterwards and say, hey, it was great to meet you at 9 o'clock this morning at Starbucks. I'm write down their name, their full name. Hopefully it's on their business card. And then I'm going to write down their business category. Lots of times the name of the company doesn't tell you what they really do. So I'm writing down the business category. And then I'm going to say, what do you do? Now, in good networking, you learn how to do an elevator pitch, which is a 9 to 15 word pitch that you use to tell people what you do without boring them or selling to them. Now, in my case, I'll use mine because it's easy. I help families protect the things they love. So that's just a few words. It tells people what I do. And they usually, that statement will elicit a response like, well, what does that mean? Or how do you do that? Or, tell me more. So that's what I want to do next, is I want to say, who is a good referral for you? Now, you're going to find out really quick that most people don't have an elevator pitch, and most people don't know who a good referral is. Because they're going to say, I sell coffee, and you're going to say, who's a good referral? They're going to say, anybody. Anybody likes coffee. Well, those are both great things, but what you really want to do is get specific, and you may have to train them for a minute or two and explain to them how to do this. Because training your referral partners is really something that they need to do so they can have these quick meetings. And it's also something you can help them with very quickly. So you get back to that statement, it's just a few words of what you do that will elicit a question. What do you do? I help families protect the things they love. How do you do that? Who's the ideal referral? Well, the ideal referral for me is a family that has a house and a car and a dog and a cat, and they have kids and they need insurance to protect that. Very simple, right? So I've come up with now 4 questions. Then the next one is, when should I refer to you? What am I going to hear people saying? And that's a really good one because you want to know when to refer to them. Remember, my whole purpose of this meeting is to learn how to give to this person something that will help them in their business. If I don't know who to refer to them, if I refer anybody to them, and anybody is not a good example, then it's not going to work. They're going to go, why did you ever send that person over to me to start with? It doesn't make sense. But if you refer the right person, you know who that person is, and you listen for what they say. In my case, I'll just use me. Somebody might hear another person say, my insurance rates just went up, or, this crazy thing that's happening in the state right now, I've lost my insurance, or the company canceled me, or whatever happened. Great time to review your insurance. I know this guy. It's really easy to go. So I've added 2 more questions I didn't used to have, and I found these really helpful lately. One is, what are you working on? That's the next question. What are you working on right now? Either business, personally, what's going on in your life? And lots of times you get an answer like, well, we've been doing some remodeling at home, and it's going pretty well, except that I've really had a hard time doing the plumbing. Oh, do you need a referral to a plumber? Well, gosh, that'd be helpful. I said, I have a really great plumber. Not only is he a friend, but he's also a business and networking person. He does business with me, so I do business with him. So I can send that referral to them after the meeting. And then the other one is, who could help you right now? Lots of times, again, they may not be doing anything specifically, but they need some help with something in their business. They may say, my website doesn't work, or my SEO isn't working, or, you can always find somebody to refer. So when I find somebody like that on the way, I go ahead and make a little note on there and say they're looking for a plumber and a web designer. And then I can go home or back to my office, and I can find people that'll help them do that. I think it's really important to find 2 people that you can refer to this person. And it's really cool if you can do it before they get back to their email. Now, if you're doing 4 or 5 of these in a row and back to back, you may not make that happen, but to get it to them by the end of the day. So then just to write a nice introductory email to them and say, hey, it was nice to meet you today at Starbucks at 9 o'clock. And I really enjoyed getting to know about you as a business coach who helps small business owners who are really struggling right now. I think I've got 2 people that would be very helpful for your business. This is my friend and client, the plumber. This is my friend and client, the web designer. And here's their names and numbers. And I'm going to go ahead and send them an email just to say you'll be calling. And that way I've connected them. So I do that connection email, and then before I go in person, I'm going to just ask them if it's okay to add them to my email list. And they'll usually say yes. I send out a newsletter. It's not really every month. It's probably 10 times a year, but I'd like to be able to just email it to you. Is that okay? Ask permission. One, you're supposed to, but two, it's just nice to do. If they say yes, cool. If they say no for some reason, just say you can always delete it or I won't do it. So those are some tips that really are important when you're growing your business or your brand locally. Now, if you're doing this all online, it's going to be different. I'm not going to go there today, but I wanted to give you some ideas of how to grow your network, how to get networking partners going. Oh, and one last thing. After I get done asking those questions, you're going to find that takes you 15 minutes of time to ask them the question. So now I've got 5 minutes left. If I let them ask the questions, it's going to take 15 minutes. So I'm just going to tell them, now here's a sheet of paper, here's a pen. Of course, the pen has my logo on it. And I'm going to hand it to them and I'm going to give them the answers real quick, just as fast as they can write. I'm going to tell them what I do, who Ideal Referral is, what I'm working on, and who I need right now in my business. And I'm going to be able to do that in 3 or 4 minutes. And I can keep that 20-minute schedule. Now I'm going to set up that coffee date 10 minutes apart. So the next one would start at 9:40 rather than 9:30. And that gives me time to make my notes, gives me time to think about who I'm going to refer, and I write that down on my sheet of paper. So when I go back to the office, I stick that in my book. And I've got a 3-ring binder that has all these pieces of paper in it. And when I go back, I can easily swing in there and go, okay, I need a web designer. Here's a web designer. Oh, I need a plumber. Here's a plumber. And I can look through that and refer very quickly. So I hope this has been helpful. I know it's been a little bit scattered, but it's a system that works. If you'd like to have this file, the little file that has these questions on it, and it's a little form that I use, I'd be happy to send it to you. If you just send me a note to my email, I'd be happy to send that to you, and that way I can maybe recap this for you with that form, and you can start doing this way. Just send me a note to Jeff at jeffmays.us. Jeff at jeffmays, JEFFMAYS.us. Jeff at jeffmays.us. That's me. I'm your sales and success coach, and I'd really like to help you grow your business, and I'd really like to get to know you. So if you have time for that one-on-one meeting, I'd be happy to meet with you, and I can show you how it works, not just tell you. Thanks so much. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please share it. Please give it the thumbs up and like it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next time.